All right, let's see. Make sure that my mic is on, everything is recording, everything is going. Set my default mic, all good. All right, GM, everybody, welcome to the Create on Base community call. This is the call for November the 1st, 2025. We've got some really exciting updates to go through for the Create on Base community, the PizzaDAO community, Stand with Crypto, the Fractal Nouns. Interesting things are happening, you guys. Very, very amazing things are happening. So we've got a really packed list of updates to share. For anybody who wants to come through to the open floor at the end of the call, come through to discord.thecreators.com and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first update that we have to share is that we have officially invested in the Rift private round at entertherift.com. Shout out to JK Charters and the entire team at Rift. We're building something that is really on a global scale with enterprise partners with Rift. I don't know if you guys have heard of Rift before, but they are a composable protocol for ERC20s to be able to be composed and wrapped into ERC 721 and 1155 NFTs. Not only that, but they also work with RWAs and other forms of really just making liquidity more accessible on chain and more kind of ability for you to compose your assets on chain. So there's some really interesting things that Rift is going to be enabling throughout the entire ecosystem. Number one of which is every creator coin, every studio coin, every guild coin, everybody who is making a coin for an organization, yourself as a creator, as an entrepreneur, as a product that you're building, as an IP, as a brand, whatever it may be, if you have a coin, you can compose that coin into NFT items and you can take supply off of the market. You can OTC deal your supply in various different ways. You can use those composable assets to wrap them up into in-game inventory items for games. You can wrap them up into tickets for events. You can wrap them up into really just anything that you can conceive of that you would take a fungible asset like a token and turn it into a non-fungible asset, and just make it into something collectible or usable as a utility, as a specific maybe section of the market cap of your overall ERC20. And that's very interesting to me. I think that's going to be, that in itself is going to be such a huge part of what we're doing, where we're enabling the launches of tokenized books, games, movies, films, like whatever you want to create as a creator, we are enabling, the tokenized launch of, so that, as you launch that, it's spinning up your treasury, you're getting allocation of your own token, you're getting USDC or ETH, in terms of like funding your project, just based on the attention that you drive for the project. The trading fees alone will be driving your treasury, but then now you can also take that token and compose it into NFTs and then be selling those NFTs as items, as sponsorship for the project, as event tickets, as just really whatever you come up with to take maybe a fraction or even as much of the market cap of that ERC20 that you want to take, and just transform it into a completely different asset class with a different use case, different utility. And the cool thing is that like these can be wrapped and they can also potentially be unwrapped depending on how you set it up, where if you compose one of these NFTs, you can then unwrap it back to the originating token that it came from, if that's been set up to do it that way. Or it can be set up where it's like a vested liquidity where it won't be unwrappable until another year, or it can be where it's locked forever, where it's just like once you wrap it in, that just permanently takes the supply of that token off the market forever, and it will always be in that NFT. And so very interesting things just with that one technology alone. Not only that, they're also connecting with one of the partners that we are very, very much integrating with, which is a gold RWA token partner. And they are tokenizing gold, putting it on chain, and enabling you to spend gold as a currency on chain. And if you're not aware, there is a massive trade war that's happening internationally between stablecoins and gold right now, where all of the kind of BRICS countries, these are the ones that are not the kind of the Western countries, mostly Eastern countries, are kind of aligning against the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency. And by doing so, they've been stacking gold for the last few years to the point where now banks are treating gold as a more liquid asset that can be used as spendable currency and on their balance sheets. And this is something that's been changing in the banking ecosystem over the last few years, and especially this year, as there's been a lot of shakeups. So very interesting things happening on the global scale that we're going to be making sure to get ahead of in terms of the entire ecosystem of what we're doing. Stable coins and gold coins will be spendable across every service, product, everything that we do, to make sure that, whatever the people's currency is, it's available to be used. Because we're a product of the people. Like, everything about us is open source, decentralized, and made to serve the people of the world and to make the world a better place for the people, not for the billionaires. So the next thing that we have on our agenda here, and what I really would love to get into, is the amazing opportunities that we have coming up this month. If you guys were paying attention at all last month, you may have seen that we are integrating and marketing a project that hired us as an agency, the name of which is Nemesis.trade, a DEX that is going to be launching in Q4 on Base, and they're going to be enabling on-chain long and short of any token without any perps or other kind of extra contracts or permissions required. It's all a permissionless structure where within the same liquidity pool that's providing the spot trades, they're also going to be able to be providing the on-chain long and short matchmaking. So it's going to be like an automated market maker, but their version of it is an upgraded form of it called the omnidirectional automated market maker. So it's going to be kind of enabling a little bit more of what's possible for DEXs, and it's the first of its kind. We were involved in marketing them last month, getting together something called the Arena app, which at its heart is really called the Signals app. The Signals app is a white labeled app that can be used for any brand or partner or IP that we're launching in order to really boost their engagement and to get them from 0 followers up to what you saw with Nemesis in its first ever test run, over 45,000 followers in really about 6 weeks. So it was really just a monumental undertaking. We created that app in the month of September, released it at the beginning of October. It grew to over 120,000 users in that time. We overbooked Nemesis's whitelist by over 60x. There's over 120,000 people trying to get into only 2,100 whitelist spots. The NFT that was made as a way to represent that winning spot from the app, if you were to come through and perform all the tasks like following and liking and reposting, and you'd earn points, and then you'd qualify for winning a whitelist spot. And for all of those that won, they were able to do a free mint right out of the app. We designed and created that NFT, and it's the first NFT that we've really created that's really just been on the market, besides a personal one that I created a few years ago that will be integrated into what we're doing at some point very soon. But the NFT that we released, it's the first one that we've done on a commercial level, and it's sitting at about 219 ETH of volume on OpenSea, one of the most popular NFTs on OpenSea during this last month. And we've just created over $4 million of value just out of thin air from just creating that NFT as a free mint. And nobody had to pay for that. And the value for all of it came out of just the marketing and the really just the amount of the way that we were able to get the message of what Nemesis is going to be providing and the opportunity of what it's going to be. out to the world. So just having that activity, funneling it through to Nemesis, that was really the test run of the Signals app. We've now been working with a few other projects on what's next, and everybody who is part of that Nemesis app launch, the teams, the projects, the communities, the partners, the folks that were buying on the whitelist, the folks that were early on the chart, like even if you were in the first day on the chart after public sale, like it's been pretty much up only from that on that chart. So like everybody involved has been super successful and is probably looking for their next play. And we're pretty proud to say that we have 3 of those lined up, because with the success of what just happened with Nemesis, people are knocking on our door to launch their project with us, and we're being very selective on who we're going to be working with because we only have a limited team right now, and we're still scaling. And like it's been an amazing amount of success and growth just from the last 2 months alone. But we are still scaling, and we're still kind of growing our team, so we can't take everybody all at once. But we are getting to that point where we're building the rails and we're building out the decentralized structure of the entire Base Creators global organization on the regional and local levels, to be able to support more and more clients coming through. And I think that's going to be really, really interesting. But for the first, foreseeable future, we've got 3 huge opportunities coming up just this month alone. And, in terms of like what that looks like, the first one coming up is actually going to be our own PFP collection. That is the Genesis collection of everything that we're doing. This is in collaboration with PSX. They kind of are the creatives behind the origination of the PFP and the world behind it. Really love like the aesthetic and how it's really getting some of the milady, degenerate kind of what do you say, the schizo culture of crypto, and kind of merging it together with the creator culture in such an amazing way. These NFTs, there is a preview in the Discord if you're interested to see what the teaser preview looks like, and we are releasing a teaser with Rift today. That teaser shows you some of the backgrounds and like a little bit of a preview of the characters. Like we've like put them in shadow, and we've like put an overlay so that you don't even get to see the full reveal right now. But that PFP collection is going to be really like a founder's pass. It's going to be really like the OGs. It's going to be really like kind of like the genesis of all these different partnerships that we're running, all these different things that we're doing together. These PFPs will be kind of like the first in line for have the right of first refusal for all the opportunities really that come through the ecosystem. So that's a huge one. It's coming up on 11/11, so there's 10 days. We're going to be launching the portal for that here, like literally either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, like we're going to be minting that on scatter.art, which is the same one that all of the milady kind of artists and like the larger Ethereum art community is kind of like choosing right now as like the kind of the trendy hot spot to be launching. And that's going to be through the Signals app as well, but like also on Scatter. So it's going to be a real interesting one to be part of. I would say get ready for 11/11, because not only is that PFP launching on that day and is connected to all of our ecosystem partners, but one of our ecosystem partners is launching an ERC20 on that day. Enter the Rift. And like I mentioned, we're already in the private round of that. So we are essentially on the Rift team in terms of, having a very high allocation of like the equity of what that product and that network is going to be. And so this is very much like, our ERC20 as well, because we are so much invested into Rift as what we're building and as like, integration partners that, this is really a joint play where we're releasing a PFP that throughout this entire network of partners, including Rift and all of its partners that like we're connecting to, that PFP is going to be highly utilized in kind of getting opportunities throughout that network And as well, as well as that NFT, we have the ERC20 that's launching. That is a huge part of that network as well. So it's going to be kind of a global takeover day for our entire fabric of ecosystem. We're definitely going to be trying to get some whitelist spots for the ERC20 of Rift, but honestly, you guys, like the private round blew up so much that like they might not have enough left over from just the initial investors of like who's getting in on this. So it might just go straight to public. If that's the case, you have heard the alpha here first. You know about this first, and you know how integrated this is going to be. So definitely keep an eye on entertherift.com. On Jordan Charters, he's JK Charters on X, on Farcaster. Keep an eye. We're also going to be co-promoting this with them because, like I said, we are part of the equity structure of all of this, and it's a huge ecosystem play for us. So be on the lookout for 11/11. We're going to be launching a signals portal coming up soon for the PFP collection, and that portal will also serve a little bit to help remind you about the ERC20 that's going to be launching on the same day. So yeah, and it's all going to be part of like this massive fucking movement of we're creating the next creator economy with huge partners that we're about to get into, and that kind of brings me to some of the amazing updates for this week. Specifically, there is a hedge fund that's launching on Base called Titanium Finance. We have just signed a contract that is really of the value of about $50,000 plus, because we're now getting a team allocation with them. So we don't really know what the upper end of that contract is going to like look like, but it's like we're getting a team allocation with a hedge fund, you guys, and we're going to be helping them to launch next. So I mean, I would say strap in, but like we like to be conservative around here and say just nothing really major is going on. We're just partnering with a hedge fund in Stand With Crypto and Pizza DAO, but we'll get into that stuff. So the next thing that we have to talk about is like the opportunities throughout the month. After the 11th, there's going to be another app launching on Signals called Fireside. That's going to be through District as well. So another really great opportunity, very much like Nemesis, where we're going to have whitelist spots. We're going to be really fully in control of how many whitelist spots that we can give out for this one, where with Nemesis, it was a little bit more strict. Peter, who's the founder of Nemesis, like was really a beast in terms of BD, and he had a bunch of partners on his side that he wanted to make sure to carve out allocations for. So we didn't have a lot of full control over how many spots we could give out for that one. But in terms of Base Junkie and the Fireside app, Base Junkie really fully trusts us in how we're doing this, and we're going to be getting them out to all of our top holders, all of the people who are top partners, all the people who are top whales and investors that maybe they didn't make it into Nemesis. There's going to be a lot of great opportunities, for everyone who didn't make it into Nemesis to, either get whitelisted for the PFP collection that we're launching, or Fireside, or Titanium, or all three. So like we're really just looking to kind of make more opportunities for people, and kind of get the best people on board as holders of each project that we can, that are going to be invested for the long term into something that is really going to be growing. So Fireside, run by Base Junkie and created by Base Junkie, his whole team, they are going to be the Twitter Spaces of the Base app and of Farcaster. So like think about that for a second. Think about how utilized Twitter's Spaces product is throughout crypto Twitter, and how if that was just an independent product, that would have its own separate market valuation of several like 100 million, like a billion, like it's its own huge carve out of the Twitter ecosystem. And by creating it as a mini app and enabling it to run within Farcaster and within the Base app, and really just by fact of all of the founders and all of the investors and all of the teams that are involved in this entire thing just deciding that this is going to be the thing, this is going to be the thing because we've decided it. And all of the powerful people that we're connected to are going to be invested in making sure that that happens, because that's just what we're going to do. Like, why wouldn't we? Like, we have an ecosystem of amazing apps that all work together, and they don't compete against each other. They just add to each other. So it's just a default thing to do. Of course, we're gonna like promote, this group, this you could call it a PayPal mafia of apps and developers that are all going to be making the new internet together. So we've got Fireside, the Twitter Spaces of Base app, huge play, just started, already better than Twitter Spaces somehow, even though they just started and haven't even been funding. Like, they're already better than Twitter Spaces. I don't know how that's possible. Probably just because Twitter Spaces is a very low bar to achieve, and there's just been no competition in the space, so they've just been resting on their laurels. So I think that's a really interesting play. That's coming up. What was that? I think we said the 17th or the 19th. I have to confirm the exact date, but that's after the 11th. That'll be the next play after the 11th that we can kind of make available for people. That'll be on the Signals app. You'll be able to get points towards the whitelist for the Fireside app and invest in the future of the Base app through the Twitter Spaces of the Base app. Like, really, this is a way to invest in the Base app itself, in my opinion, because it is literally going to be the Twitter Spaces of the Base app. So it's like if you were to be able to invest in, the Spaces app on Twitter, So I think that's definitely a really good one for us to be partnering with. Base Junkie is a great guy. He's been named a Base Global ambassador. He's been a Base media, personality for over a year. Been just grinding and just like making moves. And so he's a really great creator and partner of all of this. And we're really glad to have him on board and kind of be starting up with that. We're going to be starting his marketing here soon too. So like, that's coming up in the next day or so. We're going to be opening up the Discord and the Telegram groups for all the OGs that are going to be coming in before the 11th. Then after the 11th, we're really going to go and open that up to start publicly marketing, like on a much higher level for them. Because we want to make sure that we give full, deference to the projects that are launching at the time that they're launching, and give a good buffer. So that way, we can fully just concentrate on this opportunity one at a time, and, then have enough time to then be moving into the next opportunity. So I think that's really a great play for us to be involved in here. And then to finish out the month, we've got the hedge fund launching, you guys. We've got Titanium Finance launching at the end of the month. And that's going to be, we're going to be building that up throughout the entire month as well. So, the portals for all three of these, the PFP, the Fireside, and the Titanium Finance, all three of these are going to be opening here very soon. And it's really just going to be like kind of like a graduated stepped process where, first up is the PFP and Rift, next up is Fireside, and then finally we finish out the month with Titanium Finance. And it's going to be a really great fucking month for everybody involved. I hope that everybody's listening and paying attention. And if not, share this with your friends who are not listening, because honestly, this is just the way that we all are going to be able to be successful together, is supporting the projects that are going to be making the new internet and getting in on those. And because those are all going to be part of this ecosystem that we're building, they're all interconnected in a way that, it's just the protocols of the new internet all working together to make it happen. So very exciting stuff there. Visit x.com/titaniumfi to check out Titanium Finance. They're the hedge fund that's launching at the end of the month. And yeah, so we've got 2 district launches coming up this month, 1 PFP launch and 1 custom ERC20 token launch, which is going to be very interesting to see, and that we're very bullish about all of these. So the other updates in terms of like what we've been doing this week for the rollout of products, the rollout of our roadmap, and this entire ecosystem that we're working on. I'd like to congratulate the presidents of the Based Creators West Africa and the Based Creators Southern Africa chapters. So shout out to Ate Official and shout out to Bobby Andreas for really just helping to organize, and all those chapter leaders and members for organizing together to secure our first locations for the base creators, physical locations for local chapters. So the regional chapters, since they were founded about a week or two ago, those two chapters have been working on rolling out to the local level by contacting universities in cities around the region, and really just proposing to them the amazing value that we're going to be providing to the creators and builders and entrepreneurs and students of those universities, where we're going to be giving education, advocacy, business to business networking opportunities, all sorts of really amazing things that's going to just be bullish for the university themselves to get more tuition. Like we're thinking about their needs and what they're wanting, and we're kind of producing marketing campaigns for the universities themselves, where we're going in person to film these locations with the heads of the universities and talking about how excited we are to be bringing new opportunities to creators and artists and people in the area. As we get those announcements out and we get this kind of viral movement going of universities like literally begging to have us come and literally begging to give us a free physical location that we don't even have to rent, that we can use as a headquarters, like we will then be creating the local chapters and have daily accessibility to these like locations where we can have for storage for event stuff, we can have for creating events there on campus, we can have for running the local chapters. We can offer it as a space with all of our partners to be running educational programs with them. So like Stand with Crypto and Pizza DAO definitely going to be a huge part of all this, where we're going to be able to advocate for crypto and bring people in for free pizza, run the global pizza parties, we've got the Open Window University in Southern Africa, and we've got the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. And both of these are, either in the final stages of talks or in like already confirmation of what we're doing. And we've got more as well that are in progress that are rolling out throughout Africa and also throughout the world. We've also been talking with some folks here in the USA and also in Germany and in Thailand, India, Japan, and China. So there's definitely a big rollout happening. And really, if you're listening to this right now and you want to roll out a regional chapter, come and find us in the Discord at discord.thecreators.com. And we have the structure in place for you to start an interest group in your area. As long as you get 5 or more people, you have your chapter, and we'll start helping form your treasury, and we'll start helping form the local chapters underneath you. And from there, it's just autonomous all the way down. The regional chapters are in charge of their region and, supporting the entire creator economy of that region, growing it, growing with it, growing with the artists that are part of it, and just connecting through. Once we have locations in universities, we're going to be talking with networks, with celebrities, with any kind of institution that has anything to do with distribution, with creativity, with the culture. Like all of these things are next up on the agenda. And once we bring in those people next, like we're just talking about bringing celebrities to our organization casually, and we're also just casually talking about overthrowing the old creator economy and replacing it with a new one. And it's going to be pretty easy to do when everybody's fully aligned and just wants it to happen. And, from the universities to the students, to the creators, to the founders, to the builders, to the investors, to the communities, everybody is aligned and wants to see this happen, except for the billionaires who are currently extracting from the current system. So too bad, so sad for them. They're just not going to be part of it because we're creating this new economy for ourselves and for the people, and not for the billionaires who created it last time for them. So that's going to be exciting. And as I mentioned, and I've kind of like teased throughout this entire time, we're partnered with Pizza DAO now as of this week on a global level. Every Pizza DAO chapter, every Pizza DAO participating city throughout the world that hosts a Pizza DAO party on May 21st or any other time is now going to be getting the support structure from this movement where we're just going to be merging. Like we're literally just merging with Pizza DAO. Like, so the base creators X Pizza DAO merger is pretty much happening. All the chapters that we're creating will also be Pizza DAO locations. All the locations that they already have will also become chapters. So it's just full alignment across the board. We bring them more creators and this amazing kind of structure and kind of global creator culture movement that is tied into Pizza DAO now. They bring the amazing pizza culture and the amazing events. And, we get to say, hey, students on this university, come and get some free pizza and learn how to create on chain and earn in new ways. An amazing way to attract in the next generation of creators and builders into this upstream onboarding organization play that we're doing here. So that's amazing. We are also in, I would say, the final domino falling stages of partnering with Stand With Crypto. I don't want to say that we've officially done it yet because it's not yet official, but we've been chatting on how we can enable Stand With Crypto to get into more universities, how we can enable Stand With Crypto to speak to more consumers and creators and people on a more real world impact level of why are we standing with crypto? Why are we advocating for crypto? It's because crypto enables things like this. For example, we can enable you as a creator to come and create something at this event right now, find an audience and distribute it globally at this very moment. And it's partnered with, we'll be having events that are partnered with Stand With Crypto. We'll be coming to Stand With Crypto events that already exist. We're essentially merging the calendar of the Stand With Crypto calendar with our base creators events calendar. We're going to be inviting all of the folks who want to be coming and joining those events. Come and join, talk about base creators, talk about Stand With Crypto, talk about Pizza DAO, because that's what it's about, is about just starting conversations and inviting people from the local area to come and participate. And the activations that we have as base creators are going to be some of the best ways to do that, because outside of just saying, hey, it's free pizza, come and learn about why crypto advocacy is needed and regulations in crypto are needed, that is a very highbrow thing for a lot of people to understand why they'd want to come to that outside of, oh, I want pizza, but now it's going to be, come and like create some stuff, earn, like you can start, if you have a book or a game or music, or if you're starting an organization or a charity, if you're starting a studio, if you're a founder, an entrepreneur, if you're doing anything at all as an independent person that wants to create and grow and build, then you should come, because we have ways to help you connect and network and have opportunities and earn and grow and do amazing things at this event right away. And you start at the moment that you come to the event. So it's just making everything that all of these kind of global cultural movements, Pizza DAO is the global cultural movement for bringing pizza to the world as a human right. Stand With Crypto is a global cultural movement for bringing crypto to the world as a human right. Create on Base is a global cultural movement for bringing the creator tools on Base to the world as a cultural movement. Like we are not a product in the same way that a lot of other products are going to be kind of selling their product as the way that they try to get out and change the world. We are a cultural movement, and that is what we've been, since the beginning. Since Create on Base was founded, it was made to be representative of the creator economy on Base. It is not its own product. It is representative of the entire creator economy. We do have products, like we will have the Create on Base marketplace and launchpad that we're still developing, and is a huge part of this entire play, where all of the students that want to launch a book or a game or movies or whatever, they can launch that on the launchpad and get it out to global distribution very quickly and easily. like that, those rails are definitely still needed, and we're part of building those. But it's not the main product, because the main product is the success of those creators. The main product is the success of the families and the neighborhoods and the cities and the universities. You know, that's the product that we're selling to the world, because that's what people want. That's what people want the most. They want their lives to be improved. You know, they don't want to know about, whatever kind of brand is trying to like sell its meme coin, and then once they make enough money, then you trust me, bro, we're definitely going to change the world once we make enough money. Nah, our product is we provide the value up front. Our product is we provide the networking opportunities, the resources, the education, the advocacy, just being there in your local neighborhood as a chapter to just visit as a creator, to learn like, hey, I have a son who's like getting into, he's 16 and he wants to be a video game designer. How do I even get him started? The industry is so hard to break into. How does he even get started? We're here to help. Like, everybody who wants to start something and build something, this is the place for them. And I think it's just going to be such a world changing thing that it's hard to keep me from ranting about how we're going to basically just create a new society and civilization, you know, on the backs of this movement, because that's what it's about. It's a cultural movement to make a better world, and we're all working together to make that happen. And it's fucking such a breath of fresh air in the crypto industry to be interfacing with other organizations like us, that there are very few and far between that are on that scale of like what they're trying to do. And yeah, to be recognized by Stand With Crypto, to be they're even recommending that we start up a sister organization called Stand With Creators, that we're going to mirror them directly, and it's going to be about advocacy for creators, where we're going to be lobbying for regulations in the creative industries, where if you are a platform such as Spotify or iTunes or Steam or whatever it may be, you need to make transparent your entire split of how much the original creator is making from the creative work, so that consumers can be more knowledgeable about if they're wanting to support a creator, that they can go to the platform that is supporting the creators the most. And like that alone is going to be huge for just tearing down that old creator economy that is, the billionaires are going to be clinging to it with their fucking lives. They will not, out of our cold dead hands, they will say. And they're old enough at this point where like they won't be too long anyways. But in terms of just like getting it done, just making it happen at the grassroots level, advocacy for creators and builders, it's what's next. After the advocacy for the regulations of crypto, it's flipping the coin over and advocating for enabling those using crypto to actually have a chance to earn and win against the rigged old economy, and just highlighting how fucking rigged it is. That's really what it's going to be about, is like the advocacy to highlight how rigged it is and why you should be creating on Base. So yeah, guys, this has been a huge fucking update. We have so many more things happening that I don't have time to get into, but I think these are just the top level things that are the most important for everybody to know and to kind of be prepared for. So I'll open it up now for the last 10 minutes of the call. I know we have a really stacked group here for the open floor session. So I'd love to just open it up to any questions, any comments, any just conversation that we want to have for open floor. So if anybody wants to kick it off with a question or comment, go ahead.
I'm interested on the what's his name again? The spaces on podcast and X.
Yeah, Base Junkies Fireside.
Stay positioned and start helping out on that one.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was muted on Discord there for a second. So yeah, you're talking about Base Junkie's Fireside app and everything. Yeah, it's super interesting. Like, what do you want to talk about with that one?
Like I wanna start interacting with it, maybe start hosting spaces.
Yeah, definitely good idea. One of the cool things about the Fireside platform is like, you know how on Twitter they only pay you if you're like creating content and like you get a certain amount of followers and like you have to hit certain metrics to get paid by Twitter for like really bringing users to their platform. Fireside is changing that where if you are participating in a space on Fireside, if you're like hosting it, if you're coming in and speaking, if you're even just listening, they have rewards mechanisms. So that's the cool thing about it is that like there's literally rewards mechanisms built into Fireside from the beginning where like if you are a community manager, if you're a dev, if you are a builder, if you're a creator, if you're even a community member who is just a very dedicated community member and you're just showing up to every space, you're going to be able to get rewards, because why not? Like Twitter is kind of backwards where they're giving rewards only to a fraction of people who are creating the value of their platform. You know what I mean? Like, why are they doing that? Where like, in reality, everybody who creates content on Base is already going to be rewarded. Like you can get rewarded right now on Base by posting content. So why not also get rewarded for being in the Twitter spaces of Base? So that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah. So since you mentioned to say is it they partnered with us? I mean they partnered with the creator agency, right? So are there like specific topics that you would like to be like outreached in the spaces or spoken about?
I mean, I don't have any specific like asks on that regard. I would just say just be thinking about what amazing integrations we're going to be able to do with Base Junkie and Fireside as part of this entire PayPal mafia of apps that are all working together to make sure that we're all successful, we're all integrating together, we're all just, whatever kind of things you can do in one app, you're going to be able to do in another app. So like, for example, Base Junkie and I had this really great idea where like obviously we're going to want to integrate across the board with every partner. Maybe if you're hosting a Fireside on Base app and somebody wants to join, but they're currently playing a game that's in our network, they can just hop in on by tuning in the radio on their car that is virtually driving through the street. Like the GTA radio stations, you just tune in. You can just tune into Fireside, and just like select a channel. Same goes with like any kind of streaming partners that we might want to have. Like you can go to your character's apartment in the game and flip on the TV, and there's all the streaming channels that are by all of our different partners. You know what I mean? So like within the frameworks of like the game builders and the like what we're working with PSX on the Void engine and everything, we're going to be integrating across the network where like if you're spinning up a merch shop on Node Merch and you've got all your inventory items of like your shirts and your hats that are all branded and stuff and can be shipped globally by Luminode right to your door through their fulfillment partners, and it's just literally takes 5 seconds to start up a store and start selling your merch on chain with them. Then imagine being able to get those merch items in a video game or after you maybe finish watching a TV show or an animation or a movie or finish reading a book, or like, if you find some kind of Easter egg hidden in some creator's work that they're like, you found the Easter egg, now you get a shirt, now you get a, access to whatever other kind of thing is integrated across the network. Really amazing stuff is going to be possible where, the Fireside app being the Twitter spaces of the Base app is just the beginning because they're integrating into everything else that we're doing. So, if you're going to be launching a spaces on Fireside, you could be listened to by people across the Base app and all of the partner network apps that we integrate Fireside into. So it's really cool.
All right, thank you for that. I think I've got ideas now.
GM everyone.
GM.
My name is Claire.
Hey, nice to
My
meet
name
you.
is Claire. I'm actually new. I'm actually new here, but based of everything you've said so far, I think I actually grabbed what this whole, you know, creation is all about. I think I gathered that it's all about like cultural movement, um, creating networking opportunity, advocacy for creators, and then while we were saying all this, I think idea just popped into my head. It's more like a suggestion. You could actually rule that out and all of that. But what I want to suggest is I'm Nigerian, and then I've been to a couple of crypto settings, different kind of stuff. So I'm actually trying to like suggest if we could actually host a physical, not just online, because most people do not really are not really online like that. If we are able to, gather more people into the movement, tell ourselves, bring in more people so that they can create on this platform. I think that will actually be great because I've actually seen a number of um, movements that comes to most of these crypto events. Like the last one I attended, I think it's Blockfest, where different countries from Africa came together, you know, and then most people with their product. I understand it's not actually a product. This movement is not about the product and all of that, but then still what they do is that what most of these um, you know, creation do or creators do is they, try to buy spots to sell their self. And trust me, it is very, very effective. It's actually an hack. If we could actually, if you want to actually pull more crowd or not crowd, people that want to actually, be part of this movement. I think there are a lot of people that are open to this kind of stuff in Nigeria, especially because I'm actually in Nigeria, so I don't know for other country. But they don't know how to go about it. So they actually need a physical, interaction to be able to, come into this movement and then, give out what they can actually, um, you know, give to the community or give
Yeah,
to,
this is it's such a
this
great thing that you
particular
mentioned this
community. So
because the and we'll get into now. Actually, we're just about to start the Base Creators West Africa community call here in a couple of minutes, and I want to give some time to Ate and to Bobby Andreas, and they can actually be the ones to answer your question because we are actually doing that, and they're going to give some updates on their rollout right now. So I'll give the floor over to Bobby and to Ate, and you guys can go ahead and talk about exactly what we're doing in this regard. And yeah, like we actually had an East Africa interest group this morning. I think we need to do another one because I don't know if we got all 5 of the members we needed, but they can give an update on that.
Okay, so GM Claire. So based on what you've said, this agency is actually trying to like help content creators, like you said, to meet up, to get educated. Like it's a reason why these chapters have got people like community managers, educational managers, and also like social media managers, so that when we put the information out there on the media, people will know like where the location is, where the venue is. So like for Ate in Western, he's doing like on script. I'm sure he's going to like come on and explain further on that. But for us in the southern region, due to the fact that southern region is known for like music, mostly music. So yeah, we decided to say we'll start doing like meetups for content creators, not really content creators, but like for artists, for musicians. And the purpose is simple, like to help artists grow, get funded, and make culture on chain together. So Base believes that the next wave of creativity and ownership will happen on chain. And this is something that we've been seeing. I myself have actually experienced how Base could just support you for simple things as just advocating for Base, onboarding people to Base, educating them about these platforms, you know. So initially, here in Southern region, we've been sending out proposals to like universities and also local communities. I've also been going extra to like high schools. I'm really hoping maybe one day I'll start doing even like the kindergartens and everything. So we're literally asking these people to say, if you let us like have a space, even if it's just a local room, you know, we have a space where your students or the people that are found in this area would be able to know to say, if I go there, this person is going to be able to answer me based on this, or I'll be able to make requests. Hence, the agency itself is building the Create.Blue app where it's going to be behaving in the same way of what we're trying to do, but you can easily just go on our platform, you know, request or tell them you have an idea and, you know, you get directed and everything. So these meetups, if possible, like if God allows, they could be happening every day, you know, but for a start, we're thinking maybe weekly, if not weekly, even just like monthly, but like the target is like to have as many of these as possible so that people should now start getting like the correct information, correct.
Okay. So sorry, did I cut you?
No. I was just waiting for you to like introduction.
Oh, okay. Claire, you said you were at the blog first. Funny thing is, I was also at the blog first. Okay, wait, sorry, my name is Ate. I'm the president for Create West Africa. And you were saying something about hosting in IRL. Yes, we do have plans to host in IRL, but currently we are collaborating with a creator house in Lagos, the same city that's Blog First Africa held, to host a creator. What was the name? It's a host a creator for 7 days. So it's going to be pretty big. And it's just focused on how we could onboard West African creators to the base ecosystem. Yeah, basically collaborating with Cinematic Stoic V2 to host the creator events in Lagos. So if you're a creator, it's going to be a pretty opportunity. I guess I'll just share the details.
Yeah,
It's nice meeting you, Claire. And
What?
Oh, I've got one more thing to add on top of that.
It's nice meeting you.
I've got one more thing to add on top of that as well is that the purpose of those local chapters is to provide a business-to-business networking opportunity for the creators as well. So, when they meet up every week, everybody has a chance to go around the room and have like 1 to 2 minutes per person to talk about, what have you been doing and creating that week? What are your best customers that, people could be referring to you? What events are you going to try to host, or what products are you might launching, or what kind of things are you up to that people can participate in, that you're looking for help in, and you're looking for referrals in. And so everyone else, as they're listening, we'll be writing notes, and you'll be writing notes on everybody else's presentation, and just be like thinking about how you can pass business between each other and support each other as a chapter. So like maybe the chapter's musician, is looking for clients who are going to hire them to make some soundtracks or some music compositions. And maybe you have someone who's looking for a musician, and you can say, hey, I've got a referral for you. I've got a client who might need a musician. You can pass that to them, and that counts as an activity point for your participation in the chapter. So the more activity points that you are earning And, the more you're bringing in visitors, if you bring in a visitor to the chapter, that's a point. If you refer business to another chapter member, that's a point. If it closes and that business turns into a successful client and a project that, the other creator just made some money, that's another 5 points, because you just helped that creator to make money. If you run an event, you volunteer, that's points for volunteering. If you step up as a chapter president, vice president, secretary, and volunteer your time to the chapter itself, that's also points. And everybody throughout the year gets a chance to step up, and the leadership council of every chapter rotates on a quarterly basis, where every 3 months, there'll be a kind of a new election for, president, vice president, secretary, education lead. All the roles of the council are reelected every 3 months of the year, so that it really gives people a chance to, have a good amount of time to contribute and to run events and to do some stuff together for the chapter. And then they also have time to be building their own brands and their own things throughout the rest of the year. And give everybody the opportunity to step up and volunteer and be part of organizing. So these are starting with regional locations. We're trying to actually start up East Africa as one of our next locations. We had an interest group this morning, but I don't know if we filled it. We can run that again, and if we get 5 or more members interested in joining an East Africa group, then we can create the group and it can get started. And that's a virtual meeting for the regional, just because regions are so large that it's not going to be easy to meet in person for the region. But the region's first goal is to go and create physical chapters locally in the cities and universities of that region that are going to be the best ones to start in. So, high population cities, large universities where there's a lot of creators. These are the targets that the regional chapters will be looking towards. And like we said, Bobby and Ate and their chapters have already been successful in establishing physical locations at chapters in their regions, and they're going to just continue rolling. As each chapter is created locally, it then can help support the regional chapter. So their jobs become even easier the more chapters they rolled out, because they're going to have more people who will be able to contribute, be on the ground in different cities, and just run the entire cultural movement together.
Yeah. And also, just to add on, create is not about hype, It's not about crypto hype where they're saying come, you get paid immediately, you do what. It's about creators owning value to what they produce. So I can also add that as one of the incentives. I don't know if Ate has something else to say.
Yeah, I think, Ate, if you want to take it away, this is now your time for the West Africa chapter. So go ahead. I think we can transition into the West Africa chapter meeting if you want. I'll go ahead and hit start on that. And we'll go ahead and...
The West African chapter meet is today.
It's on our calendar for right now. Is that, did we reschedule?
I thought it happens every Sunday.
It was Sunday the first time around, and then I think we said that we were going to move it back to Saturdays. Do we want to move it to Sunday now?
No, because most people that are in the group right now are actually West Africans. So I don't know which always is the vice president. I don't know if he can take over.
Yeah, I mean, it's are you guys ready to have your meeting now, or do you want to schedule it for Sunday? There's no worries either way.
Yeah, we're gonna have it now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'll leave it open to you guys, and I'm gonna end the stream now for the community call. So thanks everybody for joining us for the community call, and look forward to seeing everybody come through to our Discord if you want to get involved.